I have to mention somewhere that I have no idea how restreaming works. I'm like trying to restream this. Or maybe multi-stream is the phrase. So if I'm lucky, it should be streaming. I guess that's going. Streaming to Twitch through this service, Restream. And I guess that's working. And one day I'll make it so that it's streaming to YouTube as well. But yeah, I guess that's going. That's cool. Yeah, and I went back to the old view. Gotta make it as Twitch streamery as possible. I just figured there's a lot more decoration that's on display now. I do like that you can see my keyboard, since it's kind of nice looking. And then you can see like the Android guys, and this light, and those lights. And yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff too to show off. Oh, did I mess it? I don't think I was... Wait, web step and housekeeping. Oh, yeah, you mean in the about section or whatever. I did fix that up. I'm trying to... I think I want to improve like one thing. Try to improve one thing a day. To get it to where it's kind of like a real stream. And... yeah. I wanted to start restreaming to YouTube like today, but apparently you have to wait to get verified or something like that. So guess I'm not doing that. Yeah, but oh well. But anyway, now that that's done, I got to get back to doing this. It's going to be more challenging to read chats from both Twitch and YouTube. So there's solutions for that too. I don't know. Oh, it's through the same service, Restream. Restream is the one that I'm using right now. But there's a way to combine it. Which would be neat if you could talk to people like from Twitch and from YouTube in the same place. Yeah. I think eventually I'll probably have to like shrink my screen and put the chat on the screen somewhere. It's like I probably want to like shrink this like this or something. And I do worry that if it's smaller, maybe it'll be harder to see. No, I'm not going to be able to get this back to where it was. Oh god. There we go. But yeah. Anyway. It's getting to where I have this conflict between I could like make videos with Manim, or even small ones. And that would bring more people to the channel. But what I really have to do, I have to make Manim better. Moving it online would be a huge win. What would be so cool? I think it would be so cool if I could like go through animating a concept and then just link it in the descriptions or whatever. And then you could go to a website and play with the thing that I'm building. Well, maybe not that I'm currently building, but the thing that I built. That'd be really, really cool. But all in due time. for now, a lot more accessible, way more accessible. Oh, and something else that'd be so cool is if you could play with it on a tablet. That'd just be so nice. That would open up a lot of doors toward being able to use it, you know, at schools and things like that. Although Chromebooks aren't, I think these days the price point of Chromebooks is about the same as tablets. Oh, hold on. I think Chromebooks and tablets are about the same much. People who are into math. Yeah, it's a comparatively small group at the moment. I guess it's getting a little bigger recently. Okay, so what I have to do now is basically get a model, view, and projection matrix working at the same time. Let me actually edit these shaders. Well, here's what I'll do. Call this model view projection. And it's going to be the same thing as this one. So like this. And I'll export that. I really need a JavaScript formatter. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so this should do the same thing. And it does. Now I'm gonna copy that shader. Like so. And if I can get the model view and projection matrices working, then I can start bringing over hopefully quadratic Bezier shaders. So there's a vertex shader and the fragment shader, same things. Switch those over, refresh this. Same thing. Which is great. So now I should actually probably create this scene in Python first. I'm gonna place this translation, rotation, and scale with a single model matrix. So a model like this. And that's what I'm gonna end up passing in. Even though it's not used here. I guess I'll call it, name it like this, just so that it matches up with Python. Guess I should move that up here. Okay, so now I have the projection matrix and the model matrix. Now this should do the same thing, which it does. And what I'm going to do is on each frame I'm going to update only the model matrix. So first do this. Trigger uniforms model. And I don't know how to override a matrix. Copies the elements of matrix M into this matrix. You can actually do a set position. Multiplies the columns. And you can set position, you can scale. Okay, I'll just do it like this. I think that's the way I have to do it. Create a new one, then do dot multiply. And then I'll do scale, rotation, and translation. It's weird that you do this backwards now. Wait. Post multiplies this matrix by M. What does post multiply mean? It must mean A is post multiplied by B. Is this. Or B is okay. Yeah, that makes sense. B is post multiplied by A. Or A is pre-multiplied. Okay. So I'm going to take the identity, then multiply by the translation, rotation, and scale. Translation, rotation, and scale like this. So that'll be the model matrix. U project. I guess it's done like this. Okay, I feel like that's gonna break something, but let's see. No, it looks like that's still running. It isn't using that matrix though yet. When I replace this, now it's going to use that matrix. Great, and that still works. Which is great. That means I can take out all of these places where I set the uniforms. I can just set the translation, rotation, and scale here, and then do this multiplication. And pass the single model matrix. Great. Now I need to move in to bring in the view matrix and a regular projection matrix. And to do that, I'm going to start it in Python first. And then just take the matrices straight from Python. I think I can actually do that with a model visualization. With this. This is like the same thing. Or at least it used to be. Oh, this is translation. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So this is going to be using model view and projection matrices, so I'm just going to print all of those. Where should I print it here, though? Guess I can just do def print stuff. Do this. Well, just have to take DT. Okay, so that's running. Now, first thing, let me print mesh dot. Well, I know the model matrix is just going to be the identity. So what I need is just the projection in the view matrix. Wait, this might be easier than I thought. Maybe we can just do... I'll comment it. It's self.camera. Does this do it? View. Format equals false. I think that should just print it. Nope, didn't work. Get view matrix. Because I can't get enough of those getters in Python. Okay, so that's great. The model matrix is just going to be the identity at first, so I already know that. So that's model view and the projection. Well, I guess it's using orthographic projection again. That's still okay. I think. Now this shader isn't using a view matrix. So I want to print this. So those are the three. But if this visualization isn't using the regular projection matrix, and it's not, it's using this edited one, I'm less comfortable using that in JavaScript. There should be just an example that uses an example that does this triangle thing. Object test? Does that do it? It might be... No, not that one. Is it inline shader example? Looks like this makes a square, which I guess will be just as good. And this one's doing it, named shader example. Try doing that. I guess it doesn't break. Great. So I'll print all of those from here. And this is using a perspective projection matrix. So I guess I'll go ahead and use that as well. And it's going to be the same thing. Just feel better doing it with a scene where it's actually using all the exact same data. Yeah, okay. Great. Okay, then I'm gonna try to pass these matrices to JavaScript. Honestly, I'll eventually have to rewrite the code to generate model view and projection matrices in JavaScript. It's going to have to happen eventually. But at least for now, okay, I'll print all of, just put all of these here. Okay, so the model view and projection. So we have these. I have to do dot set. Oh, that's just the identities, nothing to set there. For this one, I'm gonna need these numbers. Zero, one, zero, 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 one. Oh, this one's a 1. 0, 0, 1, negative 11, 0, 0, 0, 1. Great. One dot 6875 0, 0, 0, 0. This is 3 0, 0, 0, 0. This. And then that. Okay, so model view and projection matrices here. And take these out of the shader. I think. Oh, break something. Line 308. Okay, we won't want to do that for the projection matrix. I'll do this instead. Okay, now see. Okay, and this is doing the same thing. Which is good. Wait, I actually didn't expect that. Is this really doing the same thing? Oh, well, I guess I'm using a perspective projection matrix now, so maybe it's different for that one. Okay. Okay, then I gotta do the same thing with view. I'll make view matrix projection matrix. And I'm only updating the model. Set the model view and projection here. I'll do this. All right. And miraculously, it's still there. I would. I guess the next thing to do is try making some changes to the view matrix and make sure they're reflected when I change it. Yeah, I think that's what I have to do. I just had to make a folder using this thing. Add folder cube, then you add everything to the folder. Okay. Need a model folder. Then you just add everything to this folder, I guess. Like so. Great. Okay, then I got to do a separate one for the view matrix. I wonder if I can do this. I can do like put an object inside of this. Let's say like params dot model. I guess there's no reason this shouldn't work. If I go down here and I update that as well. Like here. And there's one more. Okay. And it broke something, which is always fun. I don't really feel like trying to debug that. I guess I can see if there's anywhere else where params is used. And I don't think there is. Well, I did add, maybe it's because of this. And I guess it was because of that. Okay, then that means now I can do this with a view matrix. Do pretty much the exact same thing. Okay, all of this. Now this is building the model matrix. The view matrix is actually going to look pretty similar. So the view matrix is going to be the inverse of this matrix. The reason for the projection shader is looking pixelated is because of no anti-aliasing. Is there a solution for that bug? Or still an open problem? Yeah, there's a solution. You just have to go in and do it. It's sort of... It's a pretty different problem than writing the shaders itself, which is why I skipped on it. There's also a lot of other stuff to get to. But it just requires going in and doing it. For the most part. You can also anti-alias the entire buffer, and there was a PR to do that. But I think the guy got annoyed that we were taking too long or something. So I'm just gonna put that invert here. Yeah. I can't name this the same thing. I should put all of these. Wait, how does it know what translation is? Where did I declare translation? Weird. It just says translation.make translation. Is it here? Okay, so this is all of these. Oh, I'm doing... I see. Wait, this is the one above. In this one, I don't know where translation is. Because here I'm declaring rotation. Rotation has already been declared. Could it be reading that from the other function? Because that would be crazy. I hate weakly typed languages. Yeah, this keeps going back to a different function. Oh, here I'm repeating. Okay, so take it off of that. Okay, so hopefully now, oh, these should all be .view. I think. Oh my gosh, I haven't even been running this one. Rotation has already been declared. So 367 here. Okay, get rid of that let. Translation's not defined. Okay, that's what I expected it to say. That's what was confusing me before. Because there's translation, rotation, scale also shouldn't be defined. So do let translation equals this. Then build the translation matrix. Let rotation equals that, build the rotation matrix. Let scale, do that, then make the scale matrix. And all of these will need dot model. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't do that. Or I did that on the wrong one. Basically need to copy all of this. Come down here and all of these for the model matrix. These are for the view matrix. And here, this will all be params.model. Params.view. I'm not that confident this will work, to be honest. Rotation X is not defined. 373. Okay, I'm just gonna copy that from earlier in the same file. Here. Then right before render, I'll just declare all of these. That way I actually don't need to do any of these lets. Rotation not defined. On 382. Let's put it here. Well, now the only thing is it's not appearing. Using params.model, this is using params.view. There's the model matrix, there's the view matrix. Okay. This is why I wanted to do this iteratively the last time. What I'll do, I'll take out the view matrix. I don't think this will work either. Yeah, but this is gonna happen because I was doing edits while looking at the other scene before. Model view projection. Okay, so I'm gonna copy the model matrix from the previous one. Or the projection matrix. Yeah, this one. And hopefully, if I use this projection matrix and no view matrix, okay, so then it appears. And I'm running the right thing. Now what I want to do is use the view matrix and then this other projection matrix. I wonder if firstly I can use this view matrix. I just passed the view matrix. It actually appeared. Which is crazy. It's actually even responding as if I'm moving a camera, at least for the X. And the Y. It's orthographic, so Z doesn't do anything. X rotation. That doesn't look quite right. Y rotation. It looks like the rotations are happening on the object rather than the camera. I guess scale is working. Terms of view to X rotation, Y rotation, Z rotation. reset this. Model view and projection. Although this is an orthographic projection, I think. Okay, let me try to do X rotation again. Yeah, something's up with that. Or is it? Yeah, this is at -11. That doesn't really make sense. Although this projection matrix is kind of a weird one. Let's see if it's any better off if I use the respective one. Dang, then it disappears. How annoying. Darn. And then position and color, that's all the same. Okay, let me go back to this. Debugging shaders is the worst. Is this orthographic? Let me look at this in Python. Oh, this is a -1 there. Wait. No, that's correct. Maybe try doing this and making this positive. Which can you currently do in the emulator? Can you add a object from the command line? No. So far, I can only import Manim, so I can import like the library without an error. That doesn't mean I can actually run scenes without an error, but making that work will be a lot easier than getting to the It's only this projection matrix that's making something go wrong. What are the points I'm passing? That looks right too. I'm gonna switch this to orthographic and see if it does the same thing. Although, if I put something that doesn't work here, this might be getting filled automatically. Oh. Wait, why didn't that work? Oh, this is b.t.ravel. Get tuple, not whatever. Okay, so that works. Oh, but the projection matrix changed. So this was always using the perspective projection matrix. If I wanted to use the orthographic, I think I'd have to do self.camera equals camera the graphic. I have to do this. It's still perspective. Wait, am I printing the wrong thing? I'm literally just printing that. Well, now it's orthographic, so I can print the orthographic. And I guess this is the one... Actually, I don't know if this one works in JavaScript either. Guess I can find out. Oh no, this is the one that... Oh, wait. It has a negative 1.1 here. If I test that, then this one doesn't work. If I change that back to a 0, it does work. I hate projection matrices. They're too complicated. Why would that happen? I wonder if this one works. If I set this to 0. No, that still doesn't work. Well, I guess I could multiply these manually. That view matrix, translation, rotation, scale, and invert. Let me, if I don't set the view matrix at all. Okay, it's here now. I forgot what... Okay, now it's working with the... the perspective matrix. Cool. Here's the orthographic one. Okay, great, and that works too. Now I can see if the rotations work, and they don't. Well, they actually wouldn't because I commented that code. And it looks like there was something wrong with it. Because when I comment this updating code, then it works. Although they should all be 0 at first. When I construct this view matrix, all of these start out as 0. Get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay. These should all be 0, and these should all be 0. The scale is 1. So why isn't this just, I guess I have to print this. Because I expect this to be identity. Oh, because the camera by default is moved to, this shouldn't be, the Z translation shouldn't start at 0. The Z translation should start at -11. But I don't even know how to set a starting point. Then I'll go to like +5 and -20, I guess. I should really find actual documentation for this. Maybe here? I shouldn't read a replica though. Guess I just have to read it from here. I guess this was created in the Google Creative Lab. Well, don't want to read that at all. I'm going to assume, okay, so this looks like the same library. Since the author from the other library contributed to it. So I'm gonna look for documentation to this. .add min max step property. Okay. The object, the property, min, max, and step. So that must be here. Object, property, min, max. Well, I guess you can pass the step in the same invocation. But how do I give a start location? Set value. Must be like this, I guess. Okay, then I'll go to the Z translation, do -11 here. And now if I rotate around, why is this at 5? Okay, so this makes sense. If I rotate in the X direction, okay, the x-axis is going to the right. So positive rotation should make the camera look up. And that's what happens. Y rotation should make the camera like rotate around the object. I think that's doing what I expect it to. Z rotation should do that, yeah. Cool. Let me just see. -5, -20. Why is this at 5? Oh, it's the minimum, then the maximum. And now it disappeared. Okay, so now there's something else I don't understand. Because originally this is set to -11. Wait, is this something I don't understand? Frames.view. X translation, Y translation, Z translation. Then originally it's at -11 for the Z translation. And here it's at -11 for the Z translation. So why would this not appear? Well, I found it. Okay. So I can see it if the Y rotation is pi, so it's facing the opposite direction. Why? If all these start at 0, then why would that happen? Wait, what's the order of these? Translation, then rotation, then scale. I think that's wrong. Should it be like this order? Scale, which will be nothing, then rotate, then translate. Although that still didn't help. Okay, I'll put it back to the way it was. Let me look in Python how the view matrix is created. Just take self.model matrix. Which is the correct thing to do. But it doesn't tell me anything about the order. I'm gonna cancel out setting the view matrix again. Okay, so here everything's working the way it's supposed to. The Z translation is -11 by default. From here. And that's working. What is going on with the way I'm doing this? Okay, so now I'm going to set I'm going to do just the translation. And already that messes it up. For instance, X translation, Y translation, Z translation. I have to see what translation is. It's an array. 0, 0, 0s. 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, negative 11, 1. And that's correct. I don't get it. Wait, how is that any different from what it is here? Okay, I gotta have to print this. This should have a name. So this console.log it here, set it here. Great. And I'll print the old one. And now I can't tell which is which. So I'll do this. Okay. So it's new, then old. The new one has a positive 11. Why? Why does it have a positive 11? It's taking params.view.z rotation. And params.view.z rotation is actually it's 0 here. But I did set value negative 11. I guess this needs to be... Okay, I'll put this to negative 11. And it still didn't help. Does 3JS not believe in negative translations or something like that? I'm going to print... If I print the Z translation, it's a negative number. When I do translation, when I do make translation with view.z translation, it gives me a matrix with a positive entry. The amount to translate in the X, Y, and Z. Is this just wrong? Let's see. I can't even get the bottom of this. I need to do let m equals new 3 dot matrix 4. Nope, can't do that. Okay. And go here. Temp 1, they'll say 3 equals temp 1. And matrix 4 like this, and that needs a new like so. Give me a break. M. Okay. Now I can put 0, 0, negative 11. Yeah, negative 11. And print M dot elements. And it's a negative 11. So how did this end up being positive? Okay, now I'm gonna print the translation here, I guess. There, it's negative 11. Oh, this shouldn't be 3 uniform. Should be like that. Oh wait, this is the model matrix. That one's fine. Here, this is where I want to print the Z translation. Then I want to print just translation. Then I want to print new view matrix. I just figure out why that isn't a negative 11. Okay, so translation has a negative 11. New translation does not have a negative 11. Is it part of the inversion or something? Wait, now that I think of it, this view matrix that I set isn't inverted. I just passed the view matrix verbatim. So how did that ever work, actually? Oh, and this is inverting it. That's why it's doing the... Oh! The camera is in the positive Z direction and it's looking in the negative Z direction. So this needs not invert. I wish I was better at math. Even though this isn't actually math. Okay, so that needs to be 11, that needs to be 11. That should be 11. Okay, now let's see. I don't know why this is still at 5. But now... X rotation does what I expect. Y rotation, I think, does what I expect. I think. Z rotation does what I expect. And this will need to be a positive number. That makes sense. These limits should be like -5 to 11. Or to 20. And I don't have to print all this. The things I do for mana, man. Okay, so then I translate, rotate, scale it. And as I get too close, I eventually pass through it. I get further away and it doesn't shrink for some reason. Out here in the trenches, indeed. Oh, because I'm using an orthographic one. try using a project or perspective one. Why are there two? Guess only one of them works. Okay, now zooming is doing what I expect. I can't set it to 11, whatever. X rotation. Wait, this depends on the order. I translate, then I rotate. Okay, so if I translate to z equals 11, and then rotate around the y-axis, it should like... That's weird, actually. Why is it... It's like it's spinning in place. And Z rotation, that does what I expect. X translation, that does what I expect. I think. I'm taking the, oh, this is post multiplying. So the effect is that I'm scaling, then rotating, then translating. But if I translate it first, this is translating first. And now I think it'll orbit around the object. Yeah. I hate math. Sometimes. Okay. So great. Let's use all three transformation matrices, model, view, and projection. So I can like move the object itself or move the camera. Although X translation is doing something weird. Translate it here, rotate around the Z, rotate around the Y axis or something. Okay, cool. Wait. I translate the object. It's so confusing what's even going on. I think this is all X rotation. It's hard to like visualize. This X rotation is... Well, I actually don't know what this is doing. And scaling, then oh my gosh. I'm just gonna do it this way. Scale, rotate, then translate. So if I move this to the side and rotate around the x-axis, that's actually not what I expect. Oh wait, I'm translating. Come on, put that to 0. Okay, and if I rotate around the x-axis, okay, that's what I expect. And that's what I expect. And that's what I expect. Okay, cool. That was fun. By which I mean super annoying. But I got it done. Now I should try to render an actual letter or something like that. To use the quadratic Bezier stroke shaders. Which will also not be very fun. But at least at that point I'll be seeing an actual Manim object. Well, a Manim object that isn't like a mesh. I thought I could just undo, but I did too much stuff. Okay. Something like this would be nice to render in 3JS. I think I already have the points somewhere. x.txt here. Although these points aren't useful to OpenGL or WebGL, what I'll need is a triangulation, won't I? Actually, for the stroke shaders, I don't have to triangulate. So I could do just the stroke. Although I don't even know all the buffers or whatever I have to pass over. I wonder if this is worth doing, or maybe what I should do first is just write some code so that I could do basically what you said and add objects from Manim into 3JS. That's what I basically want. I wouldn't want the mobject itself. Go to render mobject and I do this. I'll do render OpenGL vectorized mobject stroke. And go like here, strokes with the matrix. And this is just getting the right model matrix. Then it'll go here. And what I'll basically need is these attributes. And I guess the uniforms. Blake 4096, what's up? We just rendered this using model view and projection matrices, which is super cool. I can basically control the camera and the object.